Oh my God!
I'm Dr. Paul Salvatori, and this is The Dark Room. I recently had the opportunity to speak to Angelina Lazo, a survivor of the major Florida school shooting that took place last Valentine's Day. The tragedy at Majory Stoneman Douglas High, where Angelina is also a student, stole the lives of at least 17 people, injuring many others. I first asked Angelina to describe her experience of what happened that day. Though for us, learning about the shooting by way of news media, it was evident a horrible act was underway. Those on school grounds were unclear about what was going on.
Early that day, we had a fire alarm, and then when it happened at the end of the day, we were kind of, like, what's going on? And I was on the complete opposite side of the campus from where the shooter was, so we didn't really hear any of the gunshots or anything. So my class, as well as other classes on the same side of the campus, we lined up outside on the field like we would a normal fire drill, and then the last of the classes just started running towards us. My teacher's like, what's going on? What are we doing? And they were telling us to run towards Westglades, which is the middle school next to our school. And so, but we didn't know what was going on. So, I just needed to go where the cops and our teachers were pointing us to go to.
Angelina tells me she knew the shooter, Nicholas Cruz. He was a detached student in her science class, one, it sounds, in whom anger was already brewing.
He was just someone that I saw every day at class, but I'd see him around the halls and things like that. He didn't really interact with anyone. I mean, there's been times where in that class I would hand out papers and he would just snatch it from my hand, and I was just like, oh, okay, I didn't really know him on a personal level. But a lot of kids, would stereotype him and be like, if anyone could shoot up the school, then it'd probably be him, and unfortunately it was him. For me, I had a gut feeling something was just off about him. And every time in class, it was just a gut feeling. I couldn't really pinpoint what it was, but I would always keep an eye on him. He would just look around in a weird way.
I wonder whether anyone reached out to Nicholas to ask him if there was anything wrong, if there was something they could do, if only listen, to help him out of the dark place he was in at that time. Now, I believe the solution to school shootings involves gun control, especially that limits who has access to assault rifles. I share Angelina's bewilderment.
I don't think that any civilian should be able to possess a military-style weapon that the military and law enforcement are trained to use. And it's messed up that you have to be 21 to, be able to buy a handgun, but only 18 to buy an assault rifle. And there's no need for any civilian to have such a weapon. There's absolutely nothing, we don't have anything wrong that we need an assault rifle, and any student or kid shouldn't be able to, not be able, but they don't really have a reason to be owning a weapon, especially if they're attending school. It happens to be a lot of the white, older, or even younger gentlemen that live in our country. While being out here protesting, there's been that same type of male constantly saying, you're not taking away my guns, and, go home, you're not going to change anything.
But I don't think we can stop there. Ending school shootings means addressing loneliness. In fact, this is just what is suggested by Angelina when I ask her directly how she believes school shootings can become a thing of the past.
My school experience, it has been that a lot of people bunch up into groups. They only stay with people that they know, like cliques and things like that. And I feel like a lot of people feel not a part of something. I personally, I eat lunch alone every day. I don't really have too many friends, and I feel alone at school. And I feel that more kids should be supportive of anyone at school, whether they're friends or whether you don't know them at all.
Loneliness, of course, can never justify school shootings. But because it's a state of being in which resentment easily festers, it often produces dangerous people. This includes school shooters who, as we have seen time and again, think Columbine or Virginia Tech, have become bitterly detached from their peers. If, however, we can, while undermining the cliquishness Angelina describes, figure out how to better promote belongingness in schools, we will have much less to worry about. My conversation with Angelina ends on a promising note. She tells me about the important movement she's part of and demonstrating with as she speaks.
Well, right now I'm working with an organization called Every Town for Gun Safety, and I'm meeting with them Monday to put together a protest, not only for my state and my county, but for possibly nationwide, for everyone to do on the same day. But the thing about it is getting the word out. That's the hard part that we're trying to do, because I only know so many people. And everyone needs to take action. Doesn't matter what you believe in, whether you're a Democrat or Republican or even from another country, everyone has to come together and stand with us.
And we stand in solidarity with you, Angelina, citizens of the world who seek to make it a better, safer place. We must. Every life is precious.